Hello, I'm Tyler Tully, and today I'm joined by Clearview Technologies CEO Doug Hunt. Doug, a recent trial of your solar facade technology installed in Hong Kong has shown a favourable payback period. Talk us through the details and how important this milestone is for the company.
Everybody knows that we have to try to reduce our carbon emissions. I think we all know that. And and in the built environment in particular, carbon emissions are quite a bit. If we were all magically to drive Teslas tomorrow morning, are we going to impact the world's carbon by about 13%? But buildings in the built environment produce 44% of the world's carbon. And our technology sort of delivers a way to make a significant impact on those carbon emissions, but with a viable commercial payback. So our products have a life of 25 to 30 years. So with a 2.6-year payback, or even without government subsidies, in the report we referred to a payback of 4.6 years. These are numbers that I believe people will have a commercial motivation to do.
So what kind of energy savings could this tech offer, and how important will it be as businesses and countries push towards net zero?
Well, I think the technology is really important because we can make significant percentages of the building's demand. So in the model that we did in Hong Kong, the building can produce up to 81% of its demand. So this means that almost 80% of its power demand can be produced by alternative energy. And in some cities, that's that we can actually produce more than the building uses. So the building on site can be net zero. It can produce more power than it needs. So in Los Angeles, which I think was the best result, it produces 125% of the building's demand. And what's important to appreciate, I think, when we're talking about BIPV and the development that we've done, it's not really as simple as putting a solar panel on the side of a building. All of our products have to be first a building material. They need to be able to withstand the structural wind loads, like for example in Hong Kong, the glass needs to be typhoon rated. So therefore we have to make it thicker to be able to withstand typhoons. It needs to have the appropriate fire performance. So in a building, if a building catches fire, we have to have enough time for people to get down the stairs and so on. And all of these things, and the last thing is, of course, we have to be able to maintain it. And when an architect's designing a building or when a building's being refacaded, we have to be able to match the architect's vision. So Clearview products can do all of those things. So if the building is white, or if the building is green, or if the architect wants a marble finish or whatever, we can match all of that and still deliver these sort of energy numbers. And I think what we've worked very hard as a company to do is to remove these barriers to the deployment of BIPV. And because of our model, where we work like Apple, we design the product and we build it at scale. This means we can deliver a very compelling investment number. And so I think there's really little downside to being green. You can sort of have your cake and eat it, which is unusual.
So is your tech ready to deploy now?
Oh, 100%. All of our products are completely certified. The framing systems are certified. We have a framing system that if the panel has a fault, for example, so when we deploy, we have panel by panel reporting. So if we put 500 panels on a building, and if one panel has a problem, it will report, it's panel 354. And we developed a framing system that is able to pass all the structural needs. So, it has a four-side support system, so it can be deployed on high rises, but it's quite easy to remove the panel and replace it. As easy as it can be, at least when you're 40 stories up, of course. But all of these things go to removing the barriers of take-up of BIPV. And this has been our research focus for a long time. And I think now, we've still got some new products to come. In the next 6 months, we'll have a number of new things that'll improve it further. But right now, we can produce 30,000 square meters a month of spandrel and balustrade product. We can produce 30,000 square meters a month of the cladding in all different textures and colours, and we can produce well over 30,000 square metres a month in the Vision Glass. So it's certified, it's deployable from an engineering perspective, has the right fire ratings, and we have the longest warranties in the industry. So we warrant the product for 12 years, and we guarantee that the panel will make 80% of its output after 30 years.
And finally, what's your focus now and where do you go from here?
Well, I think our focus is we still have some work to do to increase our product range and to do things that other people can't, hopefully. And then from a sales perspective already, we it's like a little bit of a snowball. So we're now getting many, many quotes. And I think the other thing that's important is for those people who have a portfolio of buildings or they have a building that they own now, neighbours ratings and buildings Green Star performance is becoming much, much more of a thing, mostly driven by the tenants. So most companies have an ESG objective today where they need to reduce their carbon. And if you look at the occupancy numbers, that what you find is the buildings that have 6-star neighbour ratings are much more demanded than those that have 4, for example. And this is because an easy way for a company to reduce their carbon emissions is to move to a building that has better carbon performance. And I think what's really important to appreciate is there are many small things you can do. So we don't need to do a whole building. We can do, a plant screen, or we can do very simple stuff to an existing building to improve its neighbours rating. And I'm hoping that because we've done all these things and made the products deployable, that even the small jobs are quite important to affect the carbon output of buildings. And I think this is good commercially for the client, but also makes the building more lettable. And so these are the things that we're going to focus on in the next year to try to do more of these deployments to improve existing buildings, and hopefully we'll get a couple of big projects on the way through.
Doug, thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks, Tyler.
For more ASX news and analysis, subscribe below.